How's it going, Scrub Gamers? It's your boy Scrub Games coming at you with a juicy new piece of content for you to enjoy. But before we do get into the topic of the video, I just want to let you know how you can help support the channel, and that is by checking out Firestorm Games using my affiliate link in the description box below. Because Firestorm Games offer a whole host of products for almost every kind of hobby there is, be it Dragon Ball Super, Pokemon, One Piece, you name it, and they'll likely have it, and at some quality prices too. So just make sure to click the link below and check them out to see the whole host of products they offer while helping support the channel. And also, remember, there's another way to help out the channel, and that's by dropping a like, leaving a comment on the video, and best of all, hitting that subscribe button to keep up to date with my content when it drops. Because I'm still on the road to 1k subs, I'm looking to hit that by the year's end. But now we've got all that sorted, let's dive into the topic of the video. What's up, Scrub Gamers? Welcome back to another video here at Scrub Games, and we have the deck profile that people have been asking for a couple of videos all about, and that is for my set 2 Vegito deck. So, yeah, this deck is something that I've been playing a lot because since the anniversary box support from last year came out, and give it a bit of support to make it actually from a trash leader to a decent one, not to a very good one. It's made it a lot better, and done something that we don't get much in this game, which is older leaders being very, very good. Like, it's not often we get an old leader that's still viable, but there are a chance. Like we had Golden Freeze and stuff as well, be one of them, all the way from the first set, which was sick. And this one from set 2 is great because of that support. And when we go over the deck profile, we're going to go over the Z deck first before going to the main deck, because there's some options, some cards in the main deck that don't make sense until we go over what the Z Lead and Z Battle card do. So we're going to go over the Z deck first, explain that, then go to the main deck, so it all makes sense, just in case you've never played this deck, seen it in action, want to understand it, and want to give it a try. It makes sense to do that. So before we get into the video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the video out. It helps the video and the channel out greatly, because we're trying to get to 1,000 subs before the end of the year, and we're at 800, well, just over 800 now, and that is great because we're 3/4 of the way there. But we still want to try and get to 1,000 before the end of the year, and we've still got just over a month to do it. So we're hoping to see if we can. And all that support, like subbing, liking, commenting, really helps to help engage and know that you're enjoying this content. So if you could do that, that'd be great. Otherwise, just stay tuned and check out the video as well. And also, if you do want to skip the list, if you do want to skip the explanation, like basically talking about the deck, explaining like the cards in the deck, why they've been chosen, the benefits of them, things like that, and even like turn play progression and stuff like that, that all comes in the video. You can skip that and just go to the description down below to get the link. But then you're going to miss out on that. That was important. That will stop you from being terrible at the deck, because a lot of people do that. They just put the list, don't understand it, take the time to do it, and then scrub out. And if you want to avoid that and actually get some knowledge, then feel free. Otherwise, just skip down below. So now that's all over, let's get into the video and go over the Z deck. So starting off, we'll start with the main thing. So there's two cards that actually make this deck viable, and that's not in the main deck, it's in the Z deck, and that is the Z Leader and the Z Battle card. So these two cards are what we got for supporting the Z deck for this deck to turn it from a trash deck to a very strong one. And these are staples as well. Like, no matter what build, these are the guaranteed, like 100%, never wavering from them. Staples being one of the Z Lead and 4 of the Z Battle card. Now the other two could be deck choices. One is going to be more of a staple now, considering what we're getting in the next set. But we'll go over these two that are 100% staple, that you need to have the 5-year slot to be these cards in your Z deck. So we'll start off with the Z Battle card, because that is how you, it's one of the main things that make it, even if without the Z Lead, a bit more viable, not as great, but still a bit viable to actually do what it wants to do. And it's a 1 Z Energy 9k Z Battle card. Has Deflect, and also has a permanent where if you have 3 or more battle cards in your Z Energy, it gains Barrier. That's very easy to do, because what we want with the lead is, well, on the lead it's got it's got a permanent that's on both sides of the lead and on the Z Leader, which is all Son Goku and Vegeta cards in all areas are treated as red, green, and blue. So that means all your Gokus and Vegetas, no matter where they are during the game, are 3 colors. So that means just having one Goku or Vegeta in your Z Energy makes this card have Barrier. And while Barrier and Deflect are not things that should be together on any card, still for this one, what is so vital to your plays, having Deflect means it is stopped from being countered by counter plays, and Barrier means that once it hits the board, it's got a protection there to avoid being well, dealt with, really. And if you feel like you're gonna be dealt with things that get around deflect, then make sure you get that one Goku or Vegeta in your Z energy, so when you do play it, so that's that. It also has a really nice auto that helps you with consistency to find your Vegito cards, because your Vegito cards are like cornerstone of the deck. They're some of the best plays you can have and one of the biggest plays in there. And it also allows you to look at top 7 cards of your deck, add up to one Vegito card among them to your hand and shuffle your deck. And if you did add one to your hand, then you got a bottom deck one card from your hand. So you're not plussing off playing this, you're simply just replacing a card in your hand, potentially a Vegeta from top 7. And digging top 7 is great because that's a fair bit for your deck. And also you got to remember that you're going to always stick to being 50 cards in your deck. And when you start the game, you draw into 6, you do your mulligan, and you put 8 cards in your life. So that means you've filtered through already 40 cards in your deck, 36 cards in your deck. So you're digging through, and you're only seeing like all but 29 cards in your deck. And whereas so many Vegetos, you're not going to see one, and this helps you find some of your big things as well. And there's ways with the deck as well to help filter through to reduce the deck size. So when you're hitting this in top 7, you're digging through a big chunk of your deck to make it more consistent finding your Vegeto cards, because they're like some of the best plays in here. And we'll get to that when we get to the main deck. And then the main thing from this deck, the effect you're going to use once in the game, that's so you can see a bit main. And it is if your leader is a red Vegeta card, which currently we only have this one in the game. Its front side is facing up, so it means it's unawakened. And you have 2 more energy, and you move this card from the game. So, easy goss. So, if you're unawakened with 2 or more energy with this lead, and you lose this card, you remove this card from the game, from the board, you simply just flip your leader over and draw 2 cards. So that means you're performing the Awaken without needing to go to the 4 life requirement. Because on the leader, because the leader's not worth really going over apart from that permanent, because literally it's just got the permanent on either side. It's got the Awaken on the front side, it's got auto, which is irrelevant, we're never going to use it. And on the Awaken side, its auto only has 1 bit of text that's relevant, which is when it attacks, draw 1. That's simply it. So it's a very basic old leader, and its Awaken on its normal leader is when you land at 4 or less, you draw 2 and flip over. It's like the really old Awakens we have for leaders, a very defensive one. And what this Z battle card does is facilitate that awakening without needing to go to 4 life. So that means if you're at 8 life on turn 2, you can and you've got Z energy, you just sacrifice the energy, play the card, and then trigger the auto however best you can, and then you use the activate main, root this card from the game, flip your lever, draw 2 cards, essentially perform an awaken, but you're 8 life awakened, and then you could attack and now go into the Z leader as well. So that is the battle card. So that's what we play 4 of them. We also play we play at least 1. Like you play 4. You got to play 4 in the deck because it works well with the Z lead, which is going to go in a sec. But you use the first one to awaken yourself. So turn 2, you always go into this to awaken to make sure you flip over and actually gain advantage from your lead. And then the other ones you could be using for one of the effects on the Z lead. So with the Z lead, it's a very simple one. It requires it can awaken any life total, so you don't have to go to a certain life total like some other Z leads. It's just as long as you can sack off 1 Z leader and pay 1 red energy, you can Z awaken on your awakened red Vegito Z leader for just 1 red and 1 Z energy. It's 15k base, so it's the same as an awakened leader, and it's double strike. So it'd be lovely if it was 20k, but sadly, not every card gets busted support. Some cards just get good support, very good support, which is what this is. But having double strike leaders is nice. You can still finish off with your lead, and double strike pressure is quite cool, especially when dealing with like the FUC unisons, like the few unisons we see in the game still. You can push for 2 markers off of one of those, and you still have the permanent on your lead to make it so your Goku's Vegetas are 3 colors, being red, blue, and green. But now you gain 2 active mains, so like you no longer have an auto like on the front side, on the awakened side of your leader, being swing to draw 1. You no longer need to attack just to gain advantage. You now got these activate mains. And the first one is why we play a full 4 copies of this Z battle card, and that is once per turn. If you have 3 or more energy and you choose one of your Vegito Z battle cards, so that's why you play those, you place up to 1 Vegito and energy cost of 8 from your hand on top of the chosen card. So that's it. Just once you're at 3 or more energy and you've got one of these Vegito Z battle cards in play, you can basically just choose it and then play an 8-drop on top of it. Now that's really good because then you're for 1 energy playing out an 8-drop Vegito, and there's some really good ones in this game. And this is where the relevancy of the Z battle card comes in, where it also allows you to look for the top 7 for a Vegito. I mean, you can find a target to place on it afterwards. So it's really good. So every turn, most of the time for every turn, you're paying 1 energy to play out the Z battle card and using the lead to slam that 8-drop straight on top of it to then put some pressure. So that's one of the main plays this deck, and one of the things most people fear about this deck is that you can drop these big 8-drops for just 1 energy. for free, essentially. Well, almost for free, essentially, as well. So if you do get one of these out the turn before, and let it have barriers, so it's got protection, hard to remove, then you don't even pay the energy for the next turn, just drop it on and you got more energy for the next turn. And then we got the ever active at main, which is how you gain advantage now without needing to attack. And that's once per turn, you place one card from your hand at the bottom of your deck. So there's a requirement. You do need to have at least one card in your hand so you can bottom deck it. But then you get to draw 2 cards and then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and bounce it back to their hand. And that's fantastic. That's really good, because I say in every single deck profile is that every deck needs barrier removal, because there's some decks that just have a lot of barrier, or things that have barrier that you need to be removing. And if you don't have barrier removal, there's guys going to sit there and be a problem. So you need to get rid of them. And while this isn't the best way to get rid of them, it still is a built-in way that's free and doesn't need any other cards like to draw to certain cards or like find things to do it. It's just built into your leader. And it's also a way to draw cards, so you're also filling in dead cards at your hand. So if you've got something in your hand that's not useful, you bottom deck that, so it's still possible to grab later on if you need it. But if you don't need it now, you're putting it away, so you can draw 2 brand new cards from your deck. So you're still getting a +1, and then you're bouncing anything through ignoring barrier back to hand. And especially when you get things like tokens or Z battle cards, you're getting the best benefit of that by getting removed from the game, because when tokens Z battle cards leave the battle area, they're removed from the game. So you get that, or even if your opponent has, for the last turn, spent quite a bit of energy or quite a bit of resources trying to get a certain card out, and you just bounce it back to hand, they're going to have to do that whole process again to drop it again and get out of the way. Or even if you've got blockers that are in the way or things like that, get them off the board. Like, it's not ideal to put them back to hand, but still, it's a good way to get rid of them. And it is quite interesting because it's a blue effect, because a lot of the time bouncing back to hand is more of a blue skill, like a skill that blue decks have, but it's on a red lead, which is quite cool. So those are the staple 5 cards you want in your Z deck, and then we got the other 2 cards, which one is now more or less when the next deck comes out a staple for the deck, so you've got access to a very, very good card, and the other one is essentially a tech choice. But then there's kind of 3 different versions you can play, which I'll get into when I do my how to play out when it comes out soon enough. I don't know when it drops, but I will be doing a how to play. Well, I'm currently doing a how to play on this deck and on this leader, and that explain more choices. But normally with this deck, you've got these 5 of your staple ones. One that's going to be a staple, but currently until we get the new set, it's not a staple, but it's still a good card. And then one is a flex choice. So the one that's now going to be a staple from next set is 10 times Kamehameha, Mighty Blast. So this is one of the new Z extra cards we're getting. Like in the anniversary box, we got a generic one for every color. So every color has a generic one they use, so no one has to be left out. No decks left out now. And 10 times Kamehameha Mighty Blast is a pretty good one, because just like the rest of them in the anniversary box, is a 1 cost, 1 Z energy, and it's got 2 activate battles. First, both of them need a sack of Z energy, so the first one is sack of 1 Z energy to use it. You choose one of your cards to give 15k combo, 15k power for the battle. So it's just sack of Z energy to get 15k power boost to any card for that battle. So it'll be on your leader, 15k to your leader, extra 15k to one of your 8 drops, up to 50k defensively or offensively. Just very good by sacking off Z energy. And you'll notice with this so far, none of the deck cards require a lot of Z energy, so you don't need to generate loads. So we've got just 1, 1, 1 so far, so very cheap on needing Z energy, so you're not wasting loads of cards trying to charge it up. And the air effect is useful, but it's like it doesn't really come up that often. It's not really worth it compared to what rest of the stuff you can do in the deck. And it's activate battle for 1 by paying 1 red and sacking off 3 Z energy is the cost. And losing this card, I forget. In both effects, you need to lose the card as well. So by paying extra energy and paying 2 more Z energy, or sacking off 2 more Z energy, you get a different effect, well, slightly different effect, which is now you get the draw card, you get the gain a card from hand, draw card from your deck. Still gives a card 15k power for the battle, but now you get to minus 25k on a battle card for the turn. Now, I don't see that's not really worth it. Energy just to get an extra card and minus 25k. That 1 energy is not worth it in the grand scheme of things when you can do a lot more with that 1 energy. But it's still an option if you need be. Most of the time, you're just going to be using the first activate main to sack off the energy to gain 15k for the battle on a card. So those are staple 6 coming next set, but these staple 5 are just general. But I was playing, and I'm continuing to play the yellow version. So this is the card I have for it, for the other slot, being Oolong. So this is the more costly in terms of Z energy for the deck, and because it's just a one energy. Like all these cards cost just at least one energy to play, so it's not too expensive on your actual energy, and very few Z energy, with Oolong being the most expensive with 2 Z energy. But Oolong's worth it because since you can drop all these 8 drops for like on top of these Z battle cards, just bring out these big battle cards, you can make Oolong a beast to help finish off. That is always available because it's in your Z deck. And his effect, if you don't know, if you're new to the game or new to playing, then it's unique, so you only have one on the board at a given time. But its activate main is once per turn you can choose one battle card in play, so on your board or your opponent's board, either one, ignoring barrier, and this card's power becomes the power of the card as you from when you use the effect. So when you use the effect to choose it, it becomes that power. So if that card's power that you chose changes during after using it, it doesn't affect this. You just do it you just gain the power, become that power at the point of choosing. And then when it comes to your opponent's turn, you go back to being a 4k power guy. So that means when you drop when your cards have 35k, 40k power, you can then drop this out for 1 energy and 2 Z energy, copy that card's power, become a 40k attacker, and then swing for a huge number. Like I finish off games a lot of the time with this, when my opponent's like so scared of my 8 drop swinging, and then go into 1 trying to avoid it, and then I just drop this out, copy and swing, and that's GG. But yeah, so Oolong is the only card really in the deck. When it gets to the next set, it's flexible. So if you're not playing the yellow version, you play something different. But it depends on what version you're playing. But with the yellow one, this is your Z deck for it. So now with the Z deck out the way, we're getting to the main deck. So now, hopefully, the main deck should make sense given what these cards do. So, kind of got a little bit of a hint there, a little list. So, right. So start off with the Vegito cards, because they're the important ones that we can switch from the one drop Z battle card, and the ones we'll then be playing on top of them. But we'll start with the best combo being the 4-drop Vegito Polymorphic Potara and 5-drop Vegito Resolve combined. Now these are 2 cards we've got, like this deck's got a load of support from Anniversary Box over the years. Just it gets like a little bit, and it only got to the last one last year when the Zenkai series started to actually be decent at the support, actually be actually good enough to actually bring it forward to being played. Because before these cards were good, but the leader was the thing that was lacking. But then the Z battle card support, the Z deck support, actually boosted it. And these are ones that I see people like contemplate about if it's worth it. Not the 5-drop, but more 4-drop. If it's worth playing this 4-drop, and I say if you're not playing this 4-drop with this 5-drop, then you're doing something wrong, because this is just amazing. Because what the effects do, so yeah, this I'm not going to go properly into the effect. Well, 100% go over to like text. There's a lot of text in this. But essentially, this 4-drop is the activate main is by paying 1 and discarding it stuff from your hand. If your leader is this leader, you choose a Goku and Vegeta, 1 Goku and 1 Vegeta from your deck or drop that are cost 2 or less, and play them out to the board in rest mode with no skills. And if for the rest of the turn you can't play anything that's not any battle card that's not a Vegito for the turn. And then if they're still there at the end of the turn, you sack them off to the drop. But you're never going to be losing them from that effect at the end, because then you got this Vegito, this 5-drop, whose Union Potara is if your leader is this leader, and you draw 2 cards as the cost. You Union Potara, play it over top any Goku and Vegeta in your battle area. So essentially, what you do is use the 4-drop, pay 1, bring a Goku and Vegeta out, and then play them over the top with this 5-drop Vegeta, drawing 2 cards. And then having this in active mode. So remember, when you Union Potara, you play the card in active mode. And unlike Union Fusion, you don't have to worry about the power of the cost of the card. Just any Goku, no matter what the power costs, and any Vegeta, doesn't matter what the power costs, as long as they're on board, put it on top of. And this is great because it's a 25k, which is good, because most leaders, when they awaken, they're 15k. So 25 means that if they want to combo up this swing, they have to combo at the minimum a super combo to 5k just to get the lowest amount of resources to out combo it, which is still using up one of the precious super combos and still taking 1 card from the hand. And it's also got barriers, so it's got protection, meaning that it's hard to interact with. And a lot of this deck has barriers, so if your opponent doesn't have barrier removal, it's going to be hard getting over it unless they swing. And these are big bodies to swing over, meaning a lot of resources to try and swing them to them. And this is great because it's the best turn 1 play, because, as I said, you use the 4-drop to play 2 out from your deck. So Goku and Vegeta, which then filters you 2 out from your deck, and then you Potara over to this 5-drop, which then once again also draws finish deck by 2 more cards by drawing 2 and playing out 15k. So for these 2 cards, you don't lose anything hand. You don't plus, you don't minus, you basically stay even. but you establish on your board a 25k with barrier, and also fill your deck by 4 cards, meaning you get infinite for your deck. So when your Z battle card comes out, it's digging through further in your deck. There's less cards in the deck, so mean you can find the Vegito cards you're looking for a lot easier because there's less cards, and well, more like easier to find because there's less cards in the deck. But the scary thing about this as well is not just like you can just spam for 1 energy every turn, using this combination at 25k out there, filling your deck by 4 cards each time. But it's also got like a very nice activate main / battle that requires 2 red energy, and that is play up to 1 Vegeta card with energy cost of 7 or less from your deck on top of this card just off your deck. Now this opens for a very scary battle trick in the deck, and we'll get into what the 7-drop is in a sec, but then we're going to ignore the last activate main on this 5-drop because it's not relevant. The best target for it is a secret rare that you don't want to be wasting for that slot, and it requires 4 energy, which is a lot, and it's not worth it. So ignore that. It's just the fact it's got barrier. Potara is for free, drawing you 2 cards on top of any Goku Vegeta, and it's got this cool little battle trick in the activate main / battle for 2 red. And the target we're going to go into with this 5-drop is this one, never really old card, just like the leader, all the way from set 3 being Hyper Rush SB Vegito. Now it's a 7-drop, so it's within the range for the 5-drop's effect. It's got the same power as the 5-drop, being 25k, but it's a triple striker, so it means if it connects and the damage goes through, it's pushing 3 damage, not just 1. And it's got a very nice auto, which is when this card is played, if your leader is a Vegito card, and you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and up to 1 card in your opponent's hand, place them in the drop area, and then draw 2 cards, and then you may choose up to 2 cards in your life and add to your hand. So essentially how this is worded is, you drop it, you choose any one of your opponent's battle cards, not in your own barrier unfortunately, and put it to drop. You also choose 1 card of your opponent's hand at random, so they found out their hand face down. You pick a card at random, just like you did with Cell's Earth Shrine Kamehameha, and rip that to your drop, and then you draw 2, and then you can take up the 2 cards from your life if you want to. So you can from your life you can either take 0 cards, 1 card, or 2 cards from your life. Which essentially at the maximum, if you draw 2 cards and take 2 cards from your life, you just gained 4 cards by paying 2 energy for this 5-drop's effect. And the funny thing with this is that there's the Shin card that is used in some side decks, and sometimes sided in for this deck, which as long as your opponent, when your opponent plays it, as long as they got 3 or more energy, 3 or less energy, when they play it, it stops you from being able to attack with 7 or less, 7 cost or more battle cards for your next turn. Which meaning if you have the 7-drop on board, you can't swing with it because it's 7 or more. But luckily you can get under that, which is very nice, using the Vegito, where you can drop this 5-drop, swing with it, and then if they don't negate, you can then use the effect of the activate, because it's activate main / battle, pay the 2 red, play the 7-drop on top of it. Now the battle continues, but now you're this triple strike, and since you've already attacked, you're in the battle, and it's still the your basically your offensive phase on the battle where you can combo and stuff like that. The continue goes on, but now you've gone from a single striker to a triple striker, and trigger the auto to do some fun stuff. So that way you can sneak in a triple striker, even if there's restrictions stopping you from doing so. And it's a really nice battle trick, even defensively as well, because say your opponent goes in on you, where you got 2 energy open with this 5-drop on board, with a battle card that doesn't have barrier and they're going all in to try and finish you. You can do this, because then you can rip that battle card off the board, draw 2 cards, and also rip a card from the hand as well. So it's a nice thing you can do defensively, which is why this 5-drop normally becomes a huge target compared to the 8-drops, and just has this thing of this nice little battle trick. And we of course only pay once. You might be thinking, why pay 1 because when you need to, there's a chance it could be in your life, or you not have access to it, or it can be into your hand. And the reason why we only play 1 is because of the combo cost. If it didn't have a combo cost of 1 cost 10k, we'd play more of them, because then you want more, then to make sure you can always have that 5-drop effect triggered and more life lead and being in life. But that's not the it's not the big aim for the deck. It's just a neat trick that makes the 5-drop scary, even if you don't have access to it, and also makes it so it's something you've got the opportunity to use if you can use it. It's just a kind of effect where if you can use it, it's great. If you can't use it, you don't care. It's not amazing. Is amazing, but it's not required. It's not a necessity. It's not your main play. It's just the extra tech you've got. And because that one costs 10k, it means that if it's in your hand, that's a dead card in your hand, because you have to tap an energy just to combo off, and you don't want to be doing that. It's the only card in the deck that really require, that you if it's in your hand, it's dead. and that's why we only play one, so there's less chance of it being in our hand, dead in there, to hinder your hand a bit. Because you're normally always going to be putting this to the bottom of the deck using your leads, your Z leaders effect or your Z battle card effect at any point. So that is the 5 drop, and we got more Vegito. So we got the 8 drop effect, 8 drops we drop, and I've been teching in 1 copy of the new SSB Vegito enveloped in Fighting Spirit from the anniversary box, and then the classic 2 SSB Vegito Paralyzed Prowess. And these are the 8 drops you generally drop most of the time on top of your Z battle card, and that's because they are big 30 to 35k attackers with triple strike and barrier. So yeah, just when you get those 1 drop Z battle cards out, you then use the effect, just drop one of these 8 drops, and you're just dropping on a barrier triple striker with either 30k or 30k power. And we used to just run the 8 drop 35k because it was just barrier, triple strike, and deflect. So no other skills. He's got an auto and an EX evolve, but you're never going to fulfill them in this because the auto requires a different leader, and the evolve is too costly when you can just chop there for free on top of winning your Z battle cards. But it's more that it's just turning your Z battle card into a 35k barrier, deflect, triple striker is just scary. Because then your opponent has to deal with it because it's got barrier to protect it from effects, deflect to stop counter plays from affecting it, triple strike to push through, free damage if it connects, and 35k being a big number to face down defensively. So if you can't negate the attack, you then have to try and combo out, and that's going to be a lot of 5ks or a fair few super combos trying to combo out this. But then with the new anniversary box, we also got this 8 drop Vegeta, so a new one. So this one, it doesn't have to deflect like the Vegeta, so it's susceptible to counter plays, and it's got 5k less power. The reason we play it in here, like you can choose it, you can either replace the old 8 drop with just this new one, if you don't care about counter plays, because of its new auto. The auto on it, which is the only relevant skill on here outside the barrier and triple strike, and that is when this card attacks, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and place it at the bottom of his own deck. So essentially, it's attacking the force through a 30k triple strike, and then bottom deck when your opponent's battle cards. So it's board clearing, plus still being a big big boy with triple strike and that protection and barrier. Now I say you can run this if you don't worry about counterplay. The thing is though, the nice thing is when you activate the effect to choose it, if your opponent counterplays a counter window 1, to try and counterplay the card you're going to play, the SSB Vegito Paralyzing Prowess could come down and then be unaffected by that counterplay. Whatever effects in the counterplay skill. But if they don't counterplay on counter window 1, then you can drop this 8 drop, and then when it hits the board, it now has barriers. So on counterplay window 2, it's not going to be really affected by the effect, unless it's in the counterplay, because it has barrier. Unless it doesn't say choose, because it's got barrier now, so it's got protection on board. So if you don't really worry about counterplay, which is normally only relevant in like yellow decks most of the time. Yeah, it's really only relevant in yellow decks. Then you can just play these if you don't care about losing the 5k and deflect. But if you like the 5k and deflect protection on it and like more power, then you can put this Vegito. But this new Vegito allows you to give some board wipe without an invest battle card swings into it or effects into remove from board. So it's up to you. I personally like 1 of and 2 of because I like the power, but also like to have the 1 option of the bottom deck one as well. Then we get to the main one and the best 8 drop you can drop on Air Vegito, which is our secret rare, and that is the Power of Potara, Vegito, Kefla, and Zamasu one. So this is the secret rare I want it run in the deck, and probably the best one to have for the yellow version. Like there's no other secret rare that you want to run if you don't have for this deck. If you're running the yellow version, this is the best one because it's a never target you can drop on top of your Z battle card, being 8 cost Vegito, and it's got 40k power and triple striker, so it's got no barrier or no deflect like the other 2. But then again, you're not really worried about its counterplays too much in the game at the moment, and it's a shame it doesn't have barrier, but then if it had barrier it'd be a bit too busted. And it's got one of the best effects as well. It does have a permanent though, so your opponent can kind of like hinder you and be able to drop this, and one thing that if your opponents are knowledgeable, they can try and go about stopping you from being able to drop this for free on top of 1 drop Z battle card, because it's got a permanent where if your opponent has 6 or more energy or has 6 or more cards in rest mode, then the cost of this card is reduced by 3, meaning it's a 5 cost. So if your opponent's got gets to 6 energy, or if you've got 6 or more cards in rest mode, then you can't play this on top of a 1 drop Z battle card because it's a 5 cost in hand, not an 8 drop. And the card specifically for the lead only plays an 8 drop on top of that top of the chosen Z battle card. So be wary of that if your opponent plays around out. That's why you need to manage their board of rest mode cards to be able to stop them from playing it out. But it's worth the risk because he's got a fantastic, and why it's one of the best secret red to play in this, because it's got a fucking fantastic auto, and that is when you play this card, choose up to 4 of your opponent's cards, switch into rest mode, and then draw 4 cards. So that's right, yeah. When you drop this on your Z-Battle card, you essentially tap them down, tap 4 of their cards down, any 4 of the cards down, not ignoring barrier, of being like Energy, Unison, Leader, like Battle card, you name it, as long as it's have a barrier, and it's on their board, you can tap it down, and then you draw 4 cards. You got something like that's not. You got in the leader. You've got a blue kind of effect, being a bounce a card back to hand, ignoring barrier, and as part of your draw power. And then in the secret rare, you've got a yellow effect in this deck, being tapping things down, and like the blue side of it, because it is blue yellow. So it's got the yellow side of it tapping things down, and the blue side drawing new cards. So you essentially drop this down. You tap 4 of the cards, draw 4 brand new cards as well, so you like increase your hand size a fair bit. And now they've got, hopefully, you're mostly tapping the energy down, so they've got no energy to invest. So now they've got to start using free effects like taking life from negates and stuff like that to kind of defend against you, and you can push them through when we come to some more extra cards in the deck in a bit. But it's the best secret rare. Like, one of the things that I've seen people say is like the reason this deck does well is not the reason this deck does well, because it's still got good things like the 5-drop. If people play it right, you got the 5-drop, getting like dropping a load of those down to get those little swings with the chance of going to the 7-drop, and they're just spamming 8-drops out. But the secret rare is what can like turn the tide of games, pushing through, and is what will win games most of the time due to its effect. But it's not the reason this deck is like wins games. It's just a really good helper in the deck. And that is all the Vegeta cards, so those are the Vegetas we run. Now we get into the Gokus and Vegetas that we help to make this Union Potara, and actually help with the energy, and also some of the ever plays we can get, like some of the great effects we can have. To start off with Vegeta, we got the Vegeta Protecting His Loved Ones. Now this is one of the series of cards that Banner released in Draft Box 3 to help deal with like a silver bullet for D-Magic and blue decks, because D-Magic is one of the best negates and one like a staple in blue for the most part, and this is one of the cards because it's a 1-drop back with barrier, cantrip as well, so you play it, draw 1, and it's also basically hinders D-Magic by if your opponent activates a switches their energy to active mode using a counter skill, which is what D-Magic does, then you can choose one card in their life and 1 card in their energy and place it in the drop. And you've got this built into your main deck because you've got it in the Vegeta, because remember, with the leader's effect and the Z leader's effect, this Vegeta is treated as green and blue and red, so it's red energy, blue energy, green energy, or even just even them found able to played. You still got to play the green, but then lucky if you've got Goku's Vegetas in your energy, they count as those colours, so you don't have to worry too much with colour costs as long as you've got Goku Vegetas in there, because they count as free energy in your energy as well, because it's all areas. And this is a great one. This is another one that if you don't have this combination of the 4-drop and 5-drop in your first turn, then you're going to be wanting to drop this because it's a barrier, get protection, and it makes use of your first energy. So we play 4 of these because I hate blue personally, so I've got this to help counter that, like to help deal with them and the D-Magics. Then we've got another really fantastic 1-drop in the red Goku, SS Goku, the Legend Personified. Now this is a never cantrip, also has the auto when this card's played, draw 1, but this is more of a late game effect to help push through pressure. And that is through its activate main, which is bond free, so you need to have itself plus 2 other battle cards on the board to trigger this, and it's once per turn. Where if your opponent has 3 or more energy, so your opponent's got at least get the turn free before you can use this, this card gains 21k power until the end, until your next main phase. Which means that once your opponent's got 3 energy and you have this on board, you can boost it up to a 25k as a 1-drop 25k that draws your card as well. And the great thing about this is remember that to go into this 5-drop, you need to evolve it on top of a Goku and Vegeta, well, Potara on top of Goku and Vegeta, and with the updates, the changes from back like years and years ago when we first started playing the game, the only thing that passes over to a card is power changes. So when you play this Goku out and use the effect to gain power and swing with it, and then Potara on top of this Vegito, the power boost of 21k that this Goku had passes over the Vegito, turning this into a 46k for that attack. So that's one thing I love doing, is just dropping this Goku down, using the effect, gaining 21k power, so it's 25k, swing with it for a bit of pressure, then Potara on top of this, and any other Vegeta I've got on board into Potara, this Vegito, the draw 2, and then be a 46k attacker, which then if I swing and then go into the effect to go into the 7-drop, that power also passes over to the 7-drop, meaning that's 46k base, triple striker, getting the effect off to try and finish off games. So that's one way you can also finish off as well. That's why we play 4 copies of this, because this is such a great one to get early off this Vegito and then late game use it as pressure. Then we've got some of the yellow ones. So we've got Vegeta, Father of the Encouragement. Now, one thing to say with the yellow Goku Vegeta, they are literally just there mainly for energy, just to make sure you've got them use as energy. So that, because remember with the lead, its permanent is only giving Goku Vegeta's red, blue, and green. So it gives in those 3 colors. So any yellow ones gain a benefit of 4 colors, which come to one of our negates in a bit. So to make sure we have 4 different colors available in energy with the Goku Vegetas, we want to charge the yellow ones. So that way they're still mono yellow. They're not multicolored cards. They're just the monocolored cards based on the printed color, which is the yellow here. Then they gain the additional 3 colors, meaning they're 4 colors in energy. So if you tap one of these yellow Vegeta cards, you can tap it for yellow energy, red energy, blue energy, or green energy, and that's what we have them in. And this is the better of the yellow Vegetas to have, because as well as using for, like, you may want to use it for energy, but this Vegeta has an extra benefit in being a negate if needed, because it's got a counter attack which negate the attack and play this card. So in a pinch, if you need a negate to stop an attack, you can use this if you don't have one of your 3 negates, which we'll go in a sec. So that's why we run this one over the other Vegetas, because it's just a 1 cost negate if needed, and then it's going to be charged. Then we have the Goku and Vegeta Alliance of Rivals. Now this is the same thing, just is a yellow Vegeta Goku to put in the energy, so it counts as 4 colors towards other things, and also so you can just have that yellow energy for things like Oolong and one of our extras. And yeah, this is mainly you want to charge. That's it. It's just there to charge and be yellow. If you have if it's the absolute last resort to using your one energy on turn 1 to get a play out and get something on board, you can play it, but most of the time it's just going to be charged. And it's the best one because it's a Goku and Vegeta, and it's yellow, and a 1 cost. That's it. Then we have another one. This was another one that was a support for this deck, but then came to become a kind of red staple to help deal with floodgates until it was errata to only be usable with this Vegeta lead, and it doesn't have the errata printed on the card because I don't reprint cards often with the erratas on. But yeah, this card only works for its counterplay skill in Vegito. So this is a 3-drop Vegeta with 10k power, and it's great because its counterplay is if the battle card being played is 15k power or less, it's placed in the unit's drop instead of being played, and then you play this card. So this is a great one for when Riposte used to be amazing, just stopping Riposte from hitting the board so it can't use Floodgate, or other things like 15k from being played, you just send it to the drop set and play this card out. So it's a good way to counterplay and get a Vegeta on your board, because with this deck it's easy to get Vegeta Gokus on board because you can free play some Gokus, and some of them have a strict insane effect, but the Vegetas also have good effects, but you normally have to pay energy to play the Vegetas. But then still the Vegetas have some of the good effect, like you can negate and play it on your opponent's turn, this Vegeta here, to get that Vegeta on board and also get some benefit. This Vegeta has Barrier as a cantrip, good for turn 1, and this Vegeta helps stop your opponent's plays and play out Vegeta as well, so you can then attack with this Vegeta and then Potara over it. And it's got a nice little permanent where you're not paying for energy, because if you once you get 3 or more energy, it reduces the cost of this card in your hand and deck by 2, so that means you can play it out from Vegito from your deck from turn 3 to use this as a Vegeta instead. And then from turn 3 onwards, it's just 1 cost counterplay, play it out. And another way to play this, you can play it by 1 just normally. If you want to play it during your turn without using the counterplay or anything like that, or a Vegito, you can still play it for 1. But if you're playing it for 1 from your hand, you'd rather use the activate main, because that's for 1 red. If your leader is a Vegito card and you add 1 card from your life to your hand, play this card from your hand. This makes it so when you play out, it acts like a cantrip where it's playing itself out but is not negging your hand, because when you play out, you're also taking a life. So you're playing it out, but also you're replacing that card in your hand with a card from your life. And sometimes if you need a dig, because one benefit of this 4-drop Vegito is when you use it turn 1 to go into 5-drop, you then get a look through your deck to see what's in your deck. So you get to see if the secret's in your deck to draw into and try and find, and if the 7-drop is in there for so it's actually live in your deck. Because that way, with the 4-drop, when you go for your deck, then you know wherever you need to dig for your deck or life, the 8-drop, and if the 7-drop's in your deck or life, to know if it's possible to use the activate main / battle if you ever need it. So that's one benefit, and then yeah, being able to play this out turn 3 for 1 energy or even off the Vegito is very good as well. So we play 4 copies of this because of very good counterplay. And remember, it counts as 3 colours. All these Goku Vegetas count as 3 colours in the energy, so you got those options of what to play. So if you need a certain colour energy that isn't yellow or black, unless you've got one of these 2 down, then there are options. And then we've got another copy of, well, another Goku, and this is Goku the Rescuer. Now this one, we don't use the activate main. We don't really use it because it's not really going to be that useful. Paying that 1 energy for such a small effect, but it's more that in tandem with the lead, you can play this out for free, because this also is when a battle card is returned to the opponent player's hand by a skill. If you don't have a Goku the Rescuer in play in your battle area, you can play this card from your hand for free. So remember, with the Z leaders effect to draw cards, a whole effect to draw into bottom decking cards, draw 2, and then bounce something ignoring barrier back to hand. Remember, that's bounces back to the hand. So if you choose one of your opponent's battle cards and bounce it back to the hand, it goes back to the hand. Then you can free play out this Goku. So this is a really nice one that can either be comboed off, be put as energy, or if you need to get a Goku on board for free, just so you can Potara into a 5-drop for free, you can bounce on your opponent's battle cards using the leader's effect, and then that trigger this Goku to play out for free to get that Goku down. And then, because it's 15k, it means that you can swing with it, then Potara over, then get the Vegito in active mode to attack with as well. And we play 2 because sometimes your opponent might not have something on board or anything like that to bounce back, but so you might be able to trigger it, but it's just there for options if you need be. That's a free option. At the very least, remember, it's a Goku, so if you charge it, you can combo off to get that triple color Goku in your Z energy for your Z battle card, or charge it as a free color card in your energy. Then the last Goku Vegeta card we've got is 2 copies of the 8-drop Son Goku and Piccolo, arch rivals fighting together. Now we used to have the Omega Shenron 8-drop because it's just a handy card of just being able to come down for 2 energy because you're a red deck with a red Z, deck with a red Z leader. I mean, you can play it out, but over the course of time now, it's become less and less great because it's 2 energy play, which is expensive. In this deck, it's one of the most expensive things in this deck is paying more than 1 energy for anything. And compared with what it does to what it can do, it needs to basically get to a battle to be able to mine stuff, and then normally it's in your opponent's turn, it's removed before you can even get to that point, and during your turn you've then got to play it and it's telegraphed because he needs to drop it, then attack with it. There's no surprise dropping to be able to have it out, and so we've replaced it with this Goku because this adds a little bit more benefit. It's a Goku, so at the very least if you're charging or using it any other way, it's 3 colors. And it's more of a turn 4 play for if you get to the later turns and you want to put some pressure on, but also have a bit more defense. Is great because you play it out for 2 red. So his activate main limit 1 is if for 2 red, if you have 4 more red energy, which remember if you've got the Goku's Vegetas in there, they count as red no matter what Goku Vegeta is. You play this card out from your hand, and then you place up to 1 red Goku or red Piccolo from your drop down this card. So you've got plenty of Gokus to put underneath it, so you're always going to have a target or set yourself out to have a target for this. And then it's also, when you do play it, is when it's played, choose up to one of your leaders and it gains 5k power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So you give your leader extra 5k power, so now it's 20k base for your turn to be offensive with as a 20k double striker leader. And then if your opponent doesn't die that next turn, you release a 20k lead to help defending and make it a little bit easier, which is great. And it's also deflect and 8-drop, so it's like really not really affected by many counter plays on the free ones at least, so it's not really affected too much. And it's double strike as well. 25k double strike is pretty nice. And it's technically a dual attack because it's then got the activate main once per turn. If your leader is red and you place 1 card from underneath this card in your drop, you switch this card active mode. So for 2 energy turn 4, you can drop this out, give your leader a 5k boost until the end of your opponent's next turn, and then swing twice for 25k double base, not counting any combos you put on it. And then it's a Goku as part of Potara. So after you drop this, and you've got a Vegeta on your board that you've had since potentially turn 1 from this 1-drop or anything like that, or got one out from counterplaying or negating with this yellow Vegeta, then you can Potara into a Vegito. That comes in active mode, so you can get another swing after it. So you can potentially get 3 swings for 2 energy if you've got Vegeta already out from this 8-drop and then Vegito, and then you still got the ever 2 energy to use like get an 8-drop out or anything else as well. So it's a really nice card for when you get to later games, and that's what we play 2 copies of. So that is it for the Gokus and Vegetas. Now we go into the other card deck. So these 3 cards here are going to be like our overwhelm and like super combo and negate. So the super combo is Beerus. So there's options in this deck you can have. You can either have the red Ranitz one that most red decks have. You can play the Android because you have a red Z leader. So once you go into your Z lead, potentially turn 2 or 3, you've got that live, just a super guaranteed 10k super combo that draws 1. Or you've got this Beerus. And personally, I prefer this Beerus, even though it has it has a really nice upside, but also has potential downside as well, because it's the only multicolour super combo that draws without outside help. Like there are average super combos that can draw, like you got the green ones like the Nappa and the Cell, which can draw if you've got Healing Pod on the board, because you get in combo with it as a free 10k, then it plays itself and drop at the end of the battle, then the Healing Pod will draw 1. But this is the only multicolour super combo that draws you a card without outside help. And it is printed as a 0 cost 5k, so it is weaker than most multicolour super combos, but the fact that it draws, it's guaranteed like a multicolour super combo that draws, that is live no matter what the energy, it makes it worth it in my opinion. Because the auto, the cost of it is just if your leader is red or yellow is the cost, so as long as your leader is red or yellow, you can trigger this, and it's when it's using the combo from your hand, you reveal the top card of your deck and add it to your hand, and then depending on that card, you get another effect. So if the reveal card is red, then you gain 5k power to this, 5k combo power to this card. But if the card is yellow, you choose one of your opponent's cards in rest mode, not ignoring Barra, but any of your opponent's cards in rest mode, and it gets minus 5k power for that battle. So if you reveal a red card, it's a 10k super combo. If you reveal a yellow card, it can potentially be a 10k super combo difference by being a 5k combo and minusing the card you're attacking, or that's attacking you by 5k to put a 10k difference like a super combo does. But if the card you reveal is both red and yellow, you get both effects. So say if you reveal another super combo or one of these yellow Vegetas or Gokus, then you get to be a 10k super combo and minus something by 5k, potentially almost putting a 15k difference, which can come up, which I feel is worth the benefit. Which is why I use this, because it doesn't matter what my life total is on like Raditz, and it doesn't matter if I'm a Z leader like the Android, it's always live to use a super combo and get that big benefit, potentially can neg. And I say it can neg because remember there are cards that are not red or yellow in this deck, being the 7 cops Hyperos Vegito, your blue 8-drop Vegitos, and your Overrealm. So that's 5 cards in the deck, which it could reveal that would make it just a 5k combo, which is not too bad. It's very rare, and if you're like grabbing these or making sure there's 7 drops on the bottom of your deck, or getting these 8 drops in your hand, or after the Overrealm in the hand and they're not in the deck, there's less chance you reveal them. But if you reveal any of these Goku's Vegeta, there'll always be red for it, and same with this the secret rare is at least yellow as well. So I feel like the benefit outweighs the risk of this Beerus, and it's why I personally run this, because it's got more benefits on when it's used. Because Raditz, you need to be at 4 less life. You've got no really good control over your life to manage it down to 4 easy enough without putting in some like bad cards to help you out that. And the Android, you need to go into your Z leader, which if you like to go into your, like me sometimes, like go into your Z leader on turn 3 instead of turn 2, then it's not going to get that natural, so you can be susceptible to some potential unwanted aggro in like crit swings and stuff like that on turn, like before you go into Z lead. So that's the super combo I use, and then we got the Whis as our negate. So every color has like token negates and stuff, and this deck gets like a better kind of token negate, better in the sense that this can be live from turn 1 rather than when you're at 5 or less life, because token negates, you can use them for free by taking a life instead of paying its energy cost if you're 5 or less life. But you then will have to get down to 5 or less life, which could be difficult for some decks that awaken at 6 and can't take their own life or stuff like that, or don't care about taking a life. Whereas this Whis is available from turn 1, because it's got a permanent where if there are 4 more colors in your energy, you can use this counter skill from your hand without paying its energy cost by instead adding a card from your life. So that means if you charge one of these yellow Goku Vegetas turn 1, then straight away from the bat, that yellow Vegito also has 3 additional colours in red, blue and green, and it's 4 colours, therefore the Whis is live straight away. And unlike the other token negates as well, it's always got blocker, so if it comes down and then the turn passes is there for the next turn, it's still a blocker, and it's 10k power, and also it negates attack, plays itself just like a token negate, because the counter attack is negate attack, play itself down. So it can then block an attack, and if it is there, it survives, it's blocker again. It does also have a auto which could be handy if you've got it in hand and you want to be aggressive and you've got the energy open, because the only downside of it is its combo cost is 2 for 10k combo, so very costly. But it's got an auto that when this card is using the combo from your hand, you can switch it to one energy to active mode, meaning that if you have something in your hand and you want to go aggressive, you've got the energy open, and this is a kill swing, you potentially pay 2 to combo, and it untap one of those energy, making it a pseudo 1 cost 10k. But yeah, we play 4 copies of these because, yeah, it can be live for turn 1, very good negate that always has blocker as well. So Beerus and Vegito both helping out Vegito. And in Outer Realm, I've got as my choice being SS4 Vegeta, Heated Fire and Spirit, because it's a free Overrealm 6, so just 6 cards in the drop, free Overrealm, doesn't need any Overrealm. Being a free 30k attacker with a handy altar when it's played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and warp it. So it's nice removal, especially when you get your opponent negates with a token negate, gets a token on the board, you can drop this to remove it. And then just free 30k is more pressure to swing through as well, especially when leaders are 15 to 20k. Means they got to use up more negates or more combo power to out combo it or just take the hit. But it's mainly that I mainly go for this one over Secret ID because this can warp. Even you notice this warps only one target, it warps any one target no matter what the cost or power. Whereas Secret ID hits a 6 or less under it, so if the opponent's got 7 or more 8 drop or anything like that, it can't touch it, whereas this can, which is why I prefer this one. Then we've got our last 2 cards being the extras for the deck. So we've got the King Vegeta's Imposing Presence. This is a really handy one just to make it harder for your opponent to try and kill you by minusing the first thing you use it on by 10k as long as your leader's on a red saying, which it is, and then making every single attack after that 5k less power, which just stacks up if a card can attack more than once. But this will be replaced instantly for the new coming Explosive Dance, because you can easily set it up in this deck by playing on turn 2 instead of going to your Z League, playing the Z Extra, or just playing the Z Extra on turn 3, that's your first thing. And just having that live to be an actual good floodgate to just stop the attack, and be it 4 life, stop the attack, and then yeah, make sure your opponent's got invested Z energy to do it. And then after they run out of Z energy on the first attack, you just Whis the gate, and then they can't attack with much else. So this is going to be replaced via Explosive Dance, but in the meantime, adding Imposing Presence is a good way to, as a good nice counter, potentially be played for free as well. When you're at 3 on this life, you can play it for free by discarding a card from your hand. And then the other card is our counter, so the thing that we use to push through our triple striker swings. So remember, you can get these 8-drop Vegetos down for 1, especially if you drop your secret rare and tap them out, so they got to use life negates and stuff like that to be able to stop an attack. And then triple strike means they don't really want to let the attacker connect, because then it's hard to combo out a 40k triple striker, which if you put them down to 1, then they can't use any free life negates or anything like that, because they've only got 1 life and they can't lose that last life. Meaning that then you can just go all in on just 1 last swing to just push them and yeah, just win. So sometimes people will use negates and stuff after you do that, or even when you're triple strike, just use life negates to stop. And all matters is that you push it through, because it's a counter that requires you to pay 1 red and 1 yellow as its cost. There's 2 costs requiring 1 red and 1 yellow. That's why you play the yellow Vegeta and Goku to help with this as well. And its counter is if your leader is red, which it is, and you discard 1 yellow card from your hand, then you basically negate the counter attack skill. So it's a 2 energy investment, but for 3 energy dropping. But then having 3 energy open and using 1 to drop the 8-drop, and then swinging and use this to negate their the counter and negate their negate. Then you get the push through that triple strike swing, to mean that they've got to then try and out combo them, which is gonna be a shame. And that's how we normally push through games, just dropping the triple strike, swinging, force it through all might resistance, and going through. We only play 2 copies of it because we don't want too many, because it could be dead in hand. We only want this. We only want to find this and a yellow card from when we want to push through our kill swing. So having 2, and you filter through so much for your deck, drawing through with the 4 and 5 drop combo, just drawing, and then drawing cards with the 7 drop, 8 drop lead effect. You're digging through your deck so quickly. You can always find this, so it's not an issue. And if it's in your hand early, you can always bottom deck it with your Z battle card and your Z lead to help put it back in your deck so it's not lost, and then draw back into it at a later date. So that's the deck, 50 cards, very easy to use, and I've got gameplay as well if you want to check that out on my channel. I've got the regional I used in the last regional of the season. I used it in to gameplay of that, so you can see it using that, and a lot of gameplay from locals and the current Hermit Style League as well if you want to check those out for gameplay. But before we get into side deck, I'll go over turn play progression, because then when we go to side deck, we'll go into the whole side process, and that'll help with that. But essentially, for turn 1, you're going to mulligan either for the 4 and 5 drop together, one of these yellow Goku's Vegetas, and a cantrip as well, because you want for turn 1 to charge, well, you want a Goku Vegeta to charge, so if you don't get one of these yellow ones, you at least want another Goku Vegeta to charge, so that way at least the first energy counts as free energy. But you mainly want a yellow one, so that way from the first turn, if you do have a Whis and need a Whis to use, you've got the yellow one down there to help make the Whis live as soon as possible. So you at least want a mulligan, you want to try and find a yellow one to put in your energy for your first energy, at the very least, and hopefully try to charge just yellow ones. But if you can't have a yellow one, at least charge a Goku Vegeta, so that way if you've got more energy, so none of your energy just counts towards one, because if you charge like an extra or a card that's just mono color, just one color, then you have to make sure you're careful when you're charging energy, which if you got Gokus and Vegetas, you've got more options with what colors those represent. And ideally you want the 4 and 5 drop combo for turn 1, so turn 1 you can set up the 5 drop turn 1 to help you filter for 4 cards for your deck, and establish in your battle area 5 drop. So if you're going first, so when you're going first you can't attack to get a Z energy, and your opponent might not always attack you on their turn 1, to give you a chance to get a Z energy, so you can go straight into your Z battle card to then awaken. So what you want to do is establish 5 drops. So if your opponent doesn't attack you, so you can establish Z energy, you've at least got something that's not your leader to attack, so you can combo that Z energy. So then you, rather than attack with your lead and not get that draw from swing, you can attack with someone else, get the Z energy, get a Z battle card to flip over your leader before attacking, so you can get that draw auto beforehand. But if you can't get that combination, so if you've got either the 4 or 5 drop in your hand when you mulligan, you want to keep at least whichever one you have to try and find the other one. If you don't find it, it's not the end of the world. Hopefully you've still got a cantrip and a card to charge for energy. That's a Goku Vegeta or mainly a yellow one. But if not, you always want to try and keep if you've only got one of those pieces or none of those pieces, then make sure you've got at least a Vegeta or Goku that's more yellow, or even if it's not yellow, just Goku Vegeta to charge, and then at least a cantrip to make sure you're using that first energy. Because ideally you want the Vegeta, the protecting his loved ones, because it has barrier, so it's hard to interact with. And it's a cantrip, to mean you play it out and draw a card back, so you're not losing from your hand. And then you have that Vegeta set up with protection, so when you want to go Potara later down in the line and play like this 8-drop Goku or the 1-drop Legend Personified Goku, you can get the Goku out, make good use of that one, then Potara over it with this Vegeta then. And against blue matchups, getting this down as soon as possible means that it's there ready for when they start using. If they want to use D Magic, they have to be careful if they want to untap, because then you could fuck them over. And then for turn 2, that's when it depends what you want to do. You're always going to be going straight into the Z leader, like attacking with something, so you can get the Z energy to go into your Z battle card to make sure you can awaken. So turn 1 is, depending what you've got, you either establish you charge a Goku Vegeta, mainly a yellow one, and then either a cantrip, so you can then combo that off on an attack defensively just to get that Z energy and make use of your first energy and not lose anything from hand, or establish the 4/5 drop to fill your deck by 4 and get the 5 drop on board ready to start attacking with extra pressure. And then turn 2, the main aim is to always try and get into that Z battle card. So you want to get into that Z battle card, so you can bring it out, help fix your hand maybe, find a Vegeta, and then put something that's dead in your hand back to the bottom of your deck, and then use that effect to flip over your lead, so you then draw 2, flip over, and now can swing with your lead and start drawing cards at the very least. And then depending what you want to do with the other energy, depends what you have. So you can either, with that second energy on turn 2, you can either go swing with lead, charge, combo a card, then charge it, sack it off to go into the Z leader and have your Z leader ready set up for turn 2. Or you can, instead of going to the Z leader, you can go to the Z extra, so that's there ready as well. Or if you're able to drop a 5 drop using the 4 or 5 drop combination, you can do that, so you can get that up on board, so the 5 drop's ready to start attacking, and then have it ready to use the 7 drop, the 7 drop maybe, as whenever possible. Like, it's always good to just set up as many of these 5 drops as possible, because they're 25k with barrier, means they're hard to run over, they're big swings, and the barriers, they got protection. And the more things you can swarm out on board that have big with barrier, the harder it is for your opponents to deal with, and they could be overwhelmed with that. But and then it depends on what you want to go for the Z lead. Depending on some situations, I like to not go into my Z leader straight away on turn 2 unless I really need to, because then on turn 3, if I'm not in my Z leader, I can then still swing with my lead, get an extra draw, which I wouldn't be able to if I was on my Z lead, and then go into my Z lead on turn 3 to get that benefit. So it depends what you have and what you want to do, but usually it's either usually you might want to more often nowadays go into the Z extra on turn 2, so you got that ready if you feel like you want to get the extra draw from the leader by swinging with it using his auto, and then go to Z leader on turn 3, and then then have that ready for turn 2, And then turn 3 is when it starts to be dependent on what you did on turn 2 and what you could do now. So if you went into the Z extra on turn 2, now you want to go into your Z leader. Yeah, so you want to use one of those 3 energy, go into Z leader, and then 1 energy to either go into a 5-drop if you haven't found an 8-drop yet, or no, you want to go into the Z lead. If you went on turn 2 to your Z extra, you want to turn 3 use 1 energy to go into your Z lead after attacking with it. 1 energy to drop out your Z battle card to go into an 8-drop, and then leave either use that 1 energy if you're not worried about being aggro, like potentially killed on the next turn, to go into a 5-drop or an Everplay, or leave it open for the Vegeta Resolve Renewed, or leave it open for your Explosive Dance when we have that, or before that the Imposing Presence. So it depends. Like you're always going to be, if you went to the Z extra on turn 2, then turn 3 you're going to be going to your Z lead and an 8-drop. If on turn 2 you went into your Z leader, then you want to be going to your Z extra and an 8-drop. And if you instead went for the 5-drop, then on turn 3 you want to be establishing your Z lead and a Z extra, and depending if you're not worried about getting aggro next turn, then go into your 8-drop, because you need to want to make sure, ideally you want to make sure you get the Z extra out and have an energy out to an energy open to use the floodgate if needed, if you're afraid you're going to be aggroed, or if you're not afraid you're going to be aggroed and like you're going first, or you're not worried about the turn 4 being like potentially killing you because you have stuff in hand and stuff like that, then you can tap out if you want to. And then from turn 4 onwards, it depends what you've got, what you can do, and that way there's too many possibilities to kind of go every single one, so it's just depending on what you have. But the first your turn 1, 2 and 3 are set, being charge energy, either establish a cantrip or a 5-drop. Turn 2, make sure you go into Z battle card to awaken, and either go into the Z extra, Z lead, or a 5-drop, depending on what you have or what you can do. And then turn 3, establish, depending on what you do on turn 2, either make sure you've got the Z lead, Z extra, and 8-drop out, and then do whatever you want with the 3rd energy, depending on what you have, and then whatever you've got for turn 4. So as you want to play, and once again, examples of how I play the deck, if you want to kind of see what things you can do and what things I've done of gameplay on the channel, so go and check that out. But now we will get into the side deck, so let's have a look. Right, so let's have a look into the side deck. So we're going to go over my side deck that I had before, and we'll go over any like changes and updates to it, and then we'll go on to like siding, what you side in, like siding advice for this. So you got that information there, and we'll start off with the first one. First one we had Shin's Supremacy. To be honest, this is not a great choice for this deck anymore. I don't feel like it's not useful, and if you're running with like the Beer Super Combo, it just adds to more potential negatives to the Super Combo. And normally, some of the decks you want to deal with this, like normally for the mirror and stuff, you've got everything that you can kind of do with that. So it's much necessary to be dropping out 2 of these to help deal with some of the 8 attacking early. Then we've got 2 Brody Crown. This is normally for against red decks and blue decks. So you probably understand why it's for blue decks. They deem magic. And if you use a counter, they use some energy before to attack or like play anything real. And then kind of like if they can't respond to it, you have to pick up hand super combo of things and see what they've got to deal with your turn. And yeah, that's mostly what we offer this, and for why it's in for blue. But the reason why it's in for red is because you can count things 50 like your Vegeta, you can count things at 50k or less. But one thing red has that you can't really deal with as a red deck or even this deck, unless you're like investing 2 energy into the counter, is Topo. So like Topo is like an issue where it's something that uses negate just to defend it or make it harder for you, and if it connects down, then like you cancel it from coming down to use it to counter attack and trigger its auto, and it makes it more costly, and you know like continue with your turn. And as well as that, you don't like sometimes early you don't want to invest the energy like and resources into Almighty unless it's a kill swing, and because Almighty is also 2 energy, a yellow card from hand, and yeah, 2 cards from hand itself and a yellow card, and also 2 energy as well, which could be used for other plays. So we wanted a cheaper option to kind of like deal with things at Topo. Like now they got the floodgate negate, which isn't too bad because you can always put the big things in your energy ready to sack off. And yeah, the Topo is another thing because you either have the Vegeta counter, but that's what you want to keep hold of when you're going for your kill swing, and you're going to finish them off that way. And there, like, unless you got your secret road to tap them out, it wasn't useful. Like, if you don't have your secret road and want to use your secret road for that like early turn, then this is a great way to do it because you hit one energy, you either force them to use that energy to avoid you picking their hand, or you have a look, rip Topo or something else from their hand. So if they don't have Topo, you get a better bonus of ripping something else around, like a super combo or something like that. And see if they got any negates and what negates they've got. And then if they do have Topo, you rip it from their hand, so you can then know it can't topper me, and I can continue on. So that's why that's in there. It's like, even though it's not as great as it used to be, like it's not as busted as it used to be, it's still a good card to side for any red deck because of those reasons. And then we've got 2 copies of Mataito Sage of a Skill. So this was a card we used for against the 8-drop Gohan and some other 8-drops that they can't really react with. Going forward with the that's what is in here, like because you can charge yellow as well, like deal with things. It's more to deal with that, so they can't swing to get the benefit of the 8-drop Goku Gohan. So that's why we had that in here. And then we've got the Sun Gohan facing the Android Terror. I did have Raditz in here as well to deal with Golden Frieza, but that I had for the regional games. But normally I've got this Gohan here, and this was to help deal with unison-based strategies. Because if you get a 4 less life, and like you say in Golden Frieza, you had the yellow, you drop the Unison 25k and give it triple attack. They can swing 3 times for this. You can drop this on the first one, so you can minus up a 10k, so it's now 15k for the turn to make it so it's more manageable. And if you go to the second one, you can then combo this off, and then use the Z energy effect to minus it by 15 to make that one 10k to make it more manageable as well. So this was to deal with Unisons, because it can minus Unisons and battle cards, and also deal with white boards as well. So just a good generic red card for it. And for that reason, the more of like Unison, dealing with Unisons is a bit easier. Then we've got 2 copies. I've got my favourite one. This is 2 copies of SS Son Goku Berserk Instinct. Now, this is one of your main sides for black, because this one's a lovely one because it's remember, it's a Goku, it's just normal Goku, not a Goku Zen or anything like that. So with the lead, it also gains red, blue, and yellow. Red, blue, and green. And it's just a really nice one to help against. We always side against black decks. It gives them a choice, like a choice that has 2 options and both benefit you in certain ways. So, because what is also is when you if either player is black, when this guy's using the combo, you choose one of your cards and it gains 10k power for that battle, and you place this, and then you play this card in your opponent from your combo area to your opponent's battle area, to your opponent's battle area. So if you combo with this, you give 10k to one of your battle card, to one of your cards, and then you play this in your opponent's battle area from your combo area. So essentially, use this, give the attacking card, which normally I feel like your leader with double strike, your big battle card with triple strike, to give it extra 10k and put this in your battle area. Then your opponent's got 2 choices, because they either got a choice to keep it, which most of the time they do, because the permanent is if your leader is black, this card gets 5k power and servant, meaning it's a 25k, and it's got built-in double strike as well as its keyword skill. So they think, yep, that's fine, I'll keep hold of it because you're giving me a 25k double striker for your next turn. And then they use other cards to out combo the swing, which is normally for triple striker. It's 45. That's then 45k base triple strike, or your lead is now 25k double, and you put more combo power onto it, stuff like that. And then they keep it thinking it's a great thing, and then you go ahead and use your leader's effect to bottom deck a card, draw 2, and bounce it back to your hand. So you've just got the use of the 10k combo power of it, and now you've got it back in your hand, and you've technically +2 because you've got a card back from the board back to your hand that you lost from putting in their battle area, to having it back in your hand to use. And if you combo it again, it's limit 1, so it's not going to go back to the battle area, and you can use this as a generic 5k combo power, which is good. So that's one choice. The other choice is to go ahead and combo it, to then give their card 10k combo and give it back to you in your battle area. Now, the good thing about that, if they do that, which is not often they do, is it gives you a Goku now in your battle area that you can then attack with. That's 10k double strike, so you put some combo power onto it to make it threatening. And now it's 1/2 of the pieces you need to free Potara in the 5-drop. So get a Vegeta out, or if you had a Vegeta, you'd have Goku and Vegeta on there to go free Potara, get out a 25k, it draws you 2 cards, and now can attack as well for a no energy investment. Now that's the 2 options. You either give you a Union Potara piece and get the combo and then get the power back, so you've basically played this Goku out for nothing, and there's still been no difference because you got 10k, but they've also got 10k. Or they keep hold of it, they get greedy and keep hold of it to deny you having a Potara piece and to have it to attack with next turn, but you're always going to bounce it back to hand to get it back then for you. So that's why I love it against black decks. You either get is like Sophie's choice. You either give it back to me to actually make use of some good use of to extend my my pressure, or you get greedy, keep hold of it so you can use it, so I don't get it back to get a benefit and then have to invest more cards to combat out that swing. And the only one thing you got to be careful with this lead is that if they've got something else you want to get rid of using the leader's effect to bounce it back to hand through barrier, then don't combo with this to play it out, because then you only got one use of that Z-Leader effect per turn. So if you've got something else you'd rather bounce back to get off board, like say the Secret Rare or a Z Battle card, then don't drop this, use that first, because then they're going to be, or at least hold that off so they've got a choice to potentially go, oh, you haven't used a leader's effect, get back to hand, or you mention that so they can be more likely to combat back to you, then you can make use of it like that. So this is a great card for this deck, because yeah, it's also got the 3 colours, so you can charge it as well. And one thing we don't have in here, but you can do, is then this allows you to play Bardock the Tenacious, which is like a Nimbus effect in an Overrealm that requires at least 1 black to be able to Overrealm. And if you charge this as one of your energy, it's black, blue, green, and red, so it counts as red, blue, green. Yeah, it counts as red, blue, green for your energy for normal things, and it counts as black if you want to go and play the Bardock Tenacious. You've got that option there. So I was looking before having this and the other Goku Vegeta 1-drops and stuff to have this potentially black energy for use, and there wasn't much use apart from the Tenacious, but Tenacious, given how strong Nimbus is in the format, could be an option as well for you. So that is that, and then we've got the extra cards. We've got an extra copy of King Vegeta's Opposed Present. This will probably be an extra copy of the new Explosive Dance, but we could change it up with removing Shin and stuff to play some of these inside if you need these plus Explosive Dance. So yeah, that's one thing with this. Just before we have Explosive Dance, it will be another copy of this against decks to be aggressive to help get that minus 10k and make it harder for them to kill. Then we got 2 copies of Flying Nimbus, because once again we're playing the yellow version, so just like with Taito, we're going to have yellow energy hopefully, and we can use Nimbus, and it's such a great one currently, which just negates the attack it's used on. Then by just getting just a yellow card, you make it so your opponent only has 1 more battle card swing at turn, to make it easier to get through their turn with less worry, and be able to like skip 2 to your next turn and then put the pressure back on. And it only requires you to have keep 1 energy open for it, which is easy enough to do. So 2 copies of that, and then last one we have is Frost Deadly Poison. So this is a more costly one, but this is more to deal with certain secret rares and certain cards that are going to give you a lot of trouble. And that is normally the Black Smoke. In some decks like the Shinshen Ronzeno and Hatchak, the Black Smoke Dragon secret rare. I like dealing with that because it doesn't have deflect, and it's one that you can't really interact with and could really screw over either by wiping your board or milling you out. And the same thing with that is the Caller secret rare. We're dropping that, it has no deflect, but in dropping that could devastate your board, limit your hand, and can then potentially finish you off, and just basically made it so you've got to start back from turn 1 trying to establish what you've been taking turns to establish from the start of the game. So this is a really nice one because once again, if you're playing yellow like we're playing the yellow build of this, you have the yellow energy and you have the blue energy because Gokus and Vegetas always have blue energy, count as blue, and you can always leave free energy open without having any suspicion really, because if you're going second, you have 4 energy, you can at least use 1 of those to play out of 8-drop just to put some pressure on, and then leave free open thinking that's going to be negates, if you've got 5 on board, using that to help to get out of a swing, maybe use a negate or a counter or something. You have 1 energy, no one is going to suspect you keeping free energy with a 5-drop on board is going to be any suspicious because you can use those things thinking you've got that for defense. So having that, then free energy won't throw suspicion to you then be able to use that to counter it, making it comes into rest mode with no skills, and then you get a draw 1. And if you've got 3 or less life, you're getting to get untapping energy so you can then use things again. So it's just handy, just when you get to that point where you feel the next turn your opponent's going to be able to drop Black Smoke or the Caller secret rare, you can keep free energy open because the 5-drop gets rid of that kind of suspicion of why is their free energy open, to use Frosted Deadly Poison to stop their secret rare play and essentially end their turn because they've invested so much energy into those cards to stop. So you got that as a way good counterplay. That's one thing I like about this deck is you got options like things that you wouldn't get, most other cards in certain colours won't get options to, where you got all these different options with different colours, which is fantastic. But that's my side normally. Like, I'm not really happy with. I did have the Gohan in the regional. I did have the Raditz because I thought there might be a bit more Golden Freeze, and I forgot to put this back in my side for in unison based strategies and stuff like that, and for wide board strategies as well. And yeah, so what I would potentially change is, yeah, have this Gohan here. Take out this Shin to put in 2 of the Omega, because what I learned from the regional is that the Gogeta, if it can get that 8 drop, the new blue Aegis Gogeta, if it can get its Gogeta down on board, you can't remove it because you've not got any other minusing effects in this deck. At all, apart from, like, yeah, you got no other minusing effects outside, and it can't really be removed once it's played. It can't be removed outside of minusing down to 0, which is what Omega does best. So I feel like against that matchup, you want to put 2 Omegas in, like switch, to deal with that matchup. So that way, as long as you get 2 Z energy, you can then drop it, swing, and on that combat before they can use Aegis, you can use effect minus by 30k because you're a leader Z leader, an extra 3k for each Z energy, being 2 to 36 to again minus it off, so it's gone, and then they can't use Aegis now. If you've got a if you have a Vegeta Z battle card, Vegeta protecting his loved ones on board, then you don't have to worry about them using D magic, because they either use D magic just take a life, which they're not going to want to do to stop an attack, which they can potentially come out of, or use Aegis to help deal with, and yeah, you're going to help get rid of it, and then put pressure on without them worry about them getting their energy back, because they can't bounce back. They can't bounce back energy once they're tapped out due to the leader's effect when it awakens. And yeah, that's really the only change I can think. Maybe depending on the hits on the ban list, maybe switch out Mitaito if it's not as useful, and yeah, switch out maybe keeping the King Vegetas instead of these, and then having the third explosive dance in here when it comes in. But yeah, it's not too many changes for the side deck. But generally, when you come to siding, it then comes into basically what you're going against. So normally, so with this card, so if we imagine that the Shin isn't here, we got the Omega. The Omega is normally going to come in replacing the Goku Piccolo, because that's your 2 energy investment. And yeah, the Goku Vegeta is just there for aggro ones, but then you're not going to want to use that to aggro down a Gogeta Aegis. You want it to use it to get rid of the 8 drops. So you can take out the Goku Piccolo for the Omegas, so 2 for 2 for that one. And for Brody Crown, this is another thing where you can either replace the Goku Piccolos for it, depending on the matchup. Well, again, because this is only going to come in red or blue, so you can side out the Goku Piccolo for it if you want to, but then against red, it's nice to just basically drop that, get some more pressure from that, and then make your leader a little bit stronger to help defend the next turn if you don't kill them. Or you can side out the blue Gokus, the ones that can play out by bouncing a card to hand for them, because then you're not really losing a red card from this, and you're gaining this in the Goku against red and blue. It might be useful to bounce out because it's going to get minus by red on some of that effect that they can counterplay with, and blue they can then bean up, so their 15k swing is not going to be as effective on its own as a swing. So that's some cards you can take out for this. Then Mutaito, you're going to be off, like, depends what you want to take out for. Like, normally the slots you can take out for your deck, the Goku Piccolo you can take out, or the blue Goku if you wanted to. And once again, this would be dropped out for the either those two, the blue 3-drop Goku or the Goku Piccolo. And the same would go again for the Gohan as well. It normally be like the Goku Piccolo is normally the tech choice to side out most of these for. So probably have to go for that. Yeah, the Goku Piccolo and is mainly the main ones you're going to be signing at this. But if you feel like you need the Goku Piccolo in your deck, then you've got the blue 3-drop Goku you can be play out when something's bound to hand for free, as the other card you can take out for these the first 4 cards. And then the blue Goku is also another one that you're going to be taking out. So if you want to put in this black one, you always take out the blue Goku, because the blue Goku's there to be played for free potentially. And against black deck, this is a lot easier to play out a Goku for free potentially from it, and then get that big benefit of like a 15k swing. Like, you get more use out of this against black decks than the blue Goku. So you switch out the 3-drop Goku the Rescuer for this as you're switching out. Then the extra for King Vegeta's Imposing Presence, you can either, if you feel you need another one, you can drop out either, if you want, you can drop out the 7-drop if you feel that's not going to be useful against decks. Like, if you're not going to be used against red, you can potentially drop it out, or if you think it's not going to be So if you feel like you're not going to be able to keep 5 drops on board as easily, or not really want to put in that two energy investment to drop it out from your deck, potentially if it's there, you can switch it out for a more defensive route to go into an extra. And then Flying Nimbus, depending on like if you like it, this is all like Flying Nimbus and Frosty Poison will be depending on what extra card you want to take out. So if you feel like the counter is not worth it, like you don't want to invest the counter, or they're not going to counter as much. I feel if the counter is not going to be needed to stop negates as much, you can take that out for Nimbus or Frosty Poison. Or if you feel like the it's a deck that can doesn't get affected as much by the Floodgate, by a charged big Z energy, then you can put in Flying Nimbus instead of Frosted Poison. But generally, Frosted Poison, that's going to be against decks that you don't really need to worry about counter. So you're going to want to put in, switch out those for Frosted Poison. And then normally Nimbus is going to also take out the Floodgates for itself if you feel like this is a better Floodgate than the red Floodgate in certain matchups. Because then rather than make it so they got sack off. If you feel like they can get Z energy easily to be able to swing through the battle card swings, then you rather have Fire Nimbus to make sure they've only got one swing guaranteed rather than a chance for them to get more if they got the Z energy and stuff like that. So that's not even what it's. So the first 4, with this Shin being a Mega, you switch out the Goku Piccolo for them. But if you feel you need the Goku Piccolo for those matchups, you switch out the blue Goku the Rescuer instead. The black black Goku comes always is switched out. 2 of these in to the blue Goku Rescuer out. This extra copy of this Explosive Dance. This will always come in, replacing either the 7-drop or it replace the one of the counters because you need one counter to push through to kill. So you can take out one of the Almighty. And then Nimbus is going to be replacing the red Floodgate if you feel like you need this to guarantee only one battle card swing after the attack, rather than a chance for them to potentially get more depending on the Z energy. And Frosty Poison usually comes out for All Might Resistant. All Might Resistant always comes out for Frosty Poison, because generally you either want All Might Resistance to push through swings, but if you feel like they're going to keep going on later on and you've got a secret ready you need to worry about in a Cooler and Black Smoke, then you want Frosty Poison, because you're not going to need to push, you can just grind out then. You're going to try and grind them out with the swings and stuff. So that's the side deck, and that is the side deck choices. So yeah, the differences being taken out of Shin coming out for Omega Shenron to help deal with the blue Gogeta matchup, to make sure you got a way to get rid of the 8-drop, to get that off the board before they can use their Aegis. And then the other option is potentially, depending on what happens with the ban list, Motaito may be coming out to be 2 copies of King Vegeta's Imposing Presence, while Vegeta's Imposing Presence becomes a 3rd copy of the Decisive Dance. But then outside of that, the rest of the side deck seem absolutely fine. The Gohan is going to be good, especially for wide boards, minus more by 10k to make him easier to deal with, or Unison-based strategies, and Brody Crown for certain ones as well. So it's more like Mutaito and Shin are more like meta dependent, which Shin I just feel is not as useful for this deck. Still a good card in general, like against this deck and stuff, but for this deck it's not so much. That's it for me today. Thank you for watching. Hopefully it's been useful for understanding Vegeta, so you can try it, and hopefully the gameplay I've got on my channel makes helps you with learning how to play the deck, see an example of to play. So if you want to see more, I will be dropping more, as I will be doing a lot of testing for finals using this deck and other decks to take. And that's it. So thank you for watching. Hope you like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for my next video. Bye for now.